think that means we are live here. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the fall streaming update, California Homebrewers Association. We have a few people with us today. Just check in with the board here. This is Andy. I'm the current president of the California Homebrewers Association. We also have a couple other board members. We go around. Ernie
Brody.
And then I think Ray's on there. Ray, how you doing?
This is Ray Grace. Good. How are you guys doing?
Great. Cool. So we're just update the membership today. Things have been, it's been a wild 2020. I've done a lot of stuff and, things are changing, but we have some news, some good stuff, I think. So let's go into that. So I think first, just to recap for people at home, what's been going on with the CHA. I think as many people know, we did not have a Southern California Homebrewers Festival this year. We were planning on that. That did not happen in May, but we did have some other stuff, some new events and some other, new things. So earlier in the year, we had been talking about this for many years to do a bus to the AHA Stone Rally. The American Homebrewers Association teams up with Stone for a competition and a rally. And we sent a bus down there, and then it's well attended. Those people liked it. So, we're absolutely looking into doing one of those in the future. As future events, and not just the Stone Rally, other ways of getting buses out to other events that could be happening. We were able to embrace the streaming reality that we did in 2021 and did 2 live streams. We did a Safer at Home Brewing live stream with many pro brewers and talks and speakers. Of course, it can't replace Fest, but I think that was good, and that is still available to stream right now. We also did Friday Night Live. We did a small event with a few pro breweries. They had some specials for beers, and we spoke to those breweries, and that was fun. And another thing we had been talking about for many years and trying to figure out the right way to do it, and I think we found the right way to do it this year, was we called the CHA Fall Best of Show, where we had clubs submit beer in much in the way we do our bragging rights style competition at Fest, but do it offline, off Fest. Every club submitted one entry from for 4 or 5 types of styles of beer, and then we judge those. And actually, we have a few of those people on today to talk about the winners of that competition. So recap that, you had a first, second, and third places. So first place went to Crown of the Valley, Ben Suking for his Helles. Second place was Quaff, Scott for his Kolsch, and third was Dylan Cross from Mash Masters for his Hefeweizen. And it looks like we do have one of these winners online right now. I'm gonna ask to unmute his audio here. We have Ben. Ben's on the line. How you doing, Ben?
Hey, fantastic. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me on today.
Great to hear from you. So, this is very interesting. I've judged a few homebrew competitions before, more in the style of the BJCP, but it was cool to see that sometimes a light beer can kind of sneak its way through and enter the competition. And you're only Munich Helles, and it kept on going all the way through. So why don't you talk about a little bit about that beer and how you came to maybe pick that one for this competition?
That beer is something that I created with a friend of mine. He happens to live in San Francisco. The name of the beer is Helles Happy, kind of a nod to my buddies in San Francisco. And so, this is a recipe we've worked on for about 3 or 4 years now. And played around with a lot of different yeast strains. The recipe itself is pretty straightforward, but I think the magic came in when we found the right yeast strain to work with it, and that's something I'll just keep under my hat. But other than that, I love the Helles style. To me, it's a real interesting beer without being too much. It's fairly simple, straightforward. I'll share the recipe. I don't, let me see if I can't toggle off to another screen and look at my recipe for a quick sec. Sorry about that. It's just pulling up now. All right. fairly straightforward beer. It's a mix of pills and two row, and then a little bit of Munich 10, some Vienna malts, a touch of Carapils. And then I have Noble hops, which I'll also keep under my hat for a little bit, but roughly at about to about 20 IBUs. So the beer, when you guys have tried it, was lagering for about 3 months before I bottled it up and served it out. Straightforward brew, nothing fancy there. I did step mash. I start off at about 148, do that for about 30 minutes, and then moved it up to about 152, and then the mash out about 167.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that I think. Yeah, I mean, I love that beer a lot. And again, like I said, it's one of these lighter styles that just delivers. I remember distinctly the brewer from Stereo Brewing, where we did the judging at, said this just tastes like a beer flavored beer, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it was excellent.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Any other board members want to comment on that one?
Hey, this
I'm just go ahead, Gabby.
yeah, this is Gabby. I just wanted to second what Andy said. It's really tough to make a clean, lighter beer, and so when I'm doing judging and come across one like that, it really stands out. Just the dedication and effort it takes to craft something like that. So, thank you for letting us enjoy your submission, and congrats.
Thank you very much. I really
That was
appreciate
very
it.
nice.
Thank you.
Sweet. So yeah, just as a reminder, everyone, we had other entries. I think Scott and Dylan don't see them on here yet. I think we're just going to keep going. But again, thank to everyone to entering. I think every time we judge the bragging rights competition or anything like this, the beers only get better every year. And we picked some lighter styles, some more difficult styles this time. So we really appreciate the entries, appreciate the you guys entered. I mean, it was maybe 17, 18 clubs entered. I was super impressed with that. So we did also give away some pretty good prizes, and you can see at the screen down below, we had some great support this year from 5 Star and National Honey Board and Fermentus and Imperial Yeast. So again, thanks everyone, and definitely look forward to more of these in the future. I think we found our right niche. Doing a big BJCP level competition, we want to let the clubs handle those. We may look at those down in the future, but these simpler, smaller club focused ones, I think work really well. And we were able to get the beers out and done quickly. So great. All right, next. So a few more things before we get to the meat and potatoes of the day. We just want to remind everyone. So our website has usually been dedicated to getting memberships and getting fest stuff. And we've had bus tickets, but we've added actual full-fledged merchandise to our website. This is new for us, so we're getting our training wheels underneath, and we're going to figure this out. But right now, you can buy some things. I have some live examples. We have a nice new first release, not seen before, gray pullover with the CHA logo. We also have some unique items. We're going to start making patches, and there's some exclusive patches. So we have a Safer at Home Brewing patch to commemorate the year. When those sell out, they sell out. That is it. So these are limited edition. We also have our classic pullover, our zip up hoodie. We'll be also adding some other new stuff. We got some pins made, some acrylic CHA pins. We got magnets coming, and we have some vinyl stickers, vinyl Klingons. So be on the lookout. These are going to go up on the website as we can, and they're shipping weekly. So be patient. We're going to ship on the weekend. So if you get your order in by Friday, they will go out. And all this, everything you're spending on and buying these things, it goes back and supports the CHA's mission. So be on the lookout for that. So what's going on? What's 2020 is wrapping up? What do we see for 2021? So the board of directors, and we have 4 of the board members on right now. We've gone through this and talked a lot and come up with a plan for going forward. Initially at the beginning of this year, we said at CHF 2020 funds, we were going to refund those as people needed, and you could roll it over to the following one. And given the uncertainties of Fest and everything, we've decided to just refund everyone automatically. So if you submitted your fund, you have that, and that's been good. But now what we're going to have is all SCHF funding is going to go back to people's PayPals. It may take a couple weeks, but you will get that money back in your PayPal within the next month. Another new thing, right around this time of year, we would be having what we call our campsite call out. So we would be coordinating with our CHA reps to have a call out day where people would be booking their campsites and then buying enough campsites in a specific order before the campground opens up to the public. Given that we're unsure of what will happen and how it will look next year, we're going to flip that around a little bit. And what the campsites will become available on a first come, first serve basis to any club on a specific date. And those you're booking for Friday and Saturday, April 30th and May 1st, 2021. The campground is locked those reservations out right now, but they will become open. And specifically, there will be some pre-sales for our membership and people. This is just the camping, and this is not a CHA event or anything like that. This is strictly the campground reservations, and that's how we can get our clubs to, if they want to camp that weekend, they're more than happy to, and they can book those sites. And then all that will be relayed to the club reps, and we're going to try to make that just a single day where you call in and you can book campsites as you need them and as you want to have them. I think the other part of that is the campground, the KOA campground, if you don't know, has changed quite a bit, and it's going to continue changing with more and more camping options. There will be more premium RV camping, and then there'll be cabins and yurt tents. So there'll be a lot more ways to camp at Vail within the next 6 months. So that is another factor in this as well. So when you call in, you'll have more options, and you'll have to coordinate with your club. I think also bullet 3, maybe the most important. What are we seeing for 2021? There's a lot of scenarios that we're picturing. The board meets on a monthly basis just to manage the association, but we're constantly reassessing where we're going and what next year looks like. And we can see a number of options for 2021. Right now, we would be getting those quotes, getting those vendors, getting everyone lined up to put on the event. So we're doing that because the upfront time on that is so long. We're just going to do that now. As we get closer, as we talk to the state and federal, local regulations, we're going to go forward and do that. So as we know stuff, but right now we're proceeding with multiple scenarios. So that's where we're at right now. And like I said, as soon as we know something, it's going to go out to you guys. I asked the club reps to also submit questions ahead of time for this. And here's some good ones. They're not specifically about SCHF, but I think those are good questions. And I think the board can, give some good visibility or some answers to these. So the first one, we got this from Jim from Brew Commune. Can you comment on state guidelines for meetings? Our clubs meet in person in some limited manner, and that is compliant with state requirements. So what we've seen is a few different abilities to do. So first, the state guidelines, there's group limits. It's typically dictated by the number of households and strictly outside. I think the first thing there is you have to look at your county level guidelines for meetings. Again, I think most counties have some level of number of people or number of households, so that can quickly limit a size of club, even if your club is very small. The other alternative way to do this, and this gets to a second question about virtual meetings, I've seen many clubs gravitate to some type of online streaming platforms. These could be Zoom or Google or Facebook or Discord. And this way your club can stay connected without being, while still being physically apart. I think these are great platforms to use. Some cost a little bit of money, some are free, but they do keep that camaraderie going in that manner. And so, again, I go and monitor your state guideline, your local county guidelines for meetings. But in general, meeting outside and it's small groups is what's recommended by the state government. So the second one about virtual meetings, like I mentioned, there's that. There's also, what we've seen. I think maybe I'll throw it to. I think there's some of the bigger clubs, specifically Maltos Falcons and Long Beach Homebrewers have done a lot of virtual stuff. What I've seen from Maltos Falcons is they'll have a virtual meeting, but they also have been incorporating a commercial kind of pick up and drop off beers with different commercial breweries. So that could be an option. And maybe I'll let Ray comment on what he's seen with the Long Beach Club.
Long Beach has tried to stay pretty active. Obviously, it's not ideal. You don't get the social aspect, and being able to drink together isn't quite there. But our monthly meetings we've continued to handle on Zoom. For a while, we were using my president's wife's account, but since the school year started, we went ahead and purchased an account on Zoom, which I think is about $20 a month. So it's not a huge amount of money. One of the great things about it is we've had members that maybe have moved out of the immediate area or can't come to meetings because of work or whatever that are able to join via Zoom. So you see people that you may not have seen for a while, which is great. Beyond that, we've done quite a few things. We've got an exchange cooler at someone's house. Now, logistically, you've got to have someplace. It's in a fairly secure area, but that way we have a Google Doc that's listed, and I might put up 5 of my IPA, and someone else will come in, and they've got a Kolsch they want to trade, and we kind of handle that way. We can just go to the cooler and pick it up. We have Homebrewer of the Year within our club, which is usually just a blind tasting. There's 4 Homebrewer of the Year months where we designate the style, and it's usually a blind tasting at a meeting that everybody tastes and votes. So this time around, what we've done is we put together where you get 4 or 5 people within the club who typically are BJCP certified that don't have entries, and we'll do a Zoom tasting, or people get together in small groups, pairs at home, and we'll decide amongst ourselves, that group, who wins, how those styles place. So it's not ideal to what we normally do, but at least it keeps people involved, and it's a pretty good time, I have to say.
Cool. So the last one was about a comment on competitions and how do we run a competition under constraints, and how can we do this given the circumstances? So this is a great question, and fortunately I have direct experience in how to do this. So the Ventura Independent Beer Enthusiasts put on a wild and sour homebrew competition this fall. It was originally scheduled for the spring. That did not happen. So what we did was the BJCP guidelines are fairly broad in the sense that you can have a competition that's BJCP certified or BJCP sponsored, or you can use those rules, but you can make up your own rules. Mainly the beers still need to be done blind. So how we got around it or modified it for remote judging is we increased our number of bottles we requested. So we went to 3 bottles per entry, and we allowed the judging to occur over a number of weeks. And what we did was we got people that were in their own little bubbles, their pods, they wanted to judge together, or if there was enough beers where you had to judge remotely, so people could judge over Zoom. And that's where that extra bottle comes in, is that extra bottle allows a table to expand to 2 remote parties or 2 remote rooms. So we did that, and then that 3rd bottle was left for the final best of show table. So we just kind of grew it a little bit, and this worked out really well. I know Ray helped judge a little bit of that, and we had judges all across. Normally we would all meet at one place for one day, but that that didn't happen. And then the best of show judging happened, socially distanced at one location, so we can still do that. So you have to work within the system you're given, and I think that worked really well. And we awarded many winners, and we had those prizes, so that worked. I think it all comes down to, are your judges flexible enough to execute it that way? And I think it's shown it is. Now, as the size of the competition grows, it gets much harder to do that. So I don't recommend this. I would not recommend this right now for very large competitions, pushing beyond maybe 100 entries, but that's my personal opinion. I think this can scale, but you just have to be flexible. You're gonna have to ask more bottles, and the judging will just absolutely take longer. It's harder to do it all in one day. But I think it can happen, and I think it's good. And I think that keeps people to get, communicating and the camaraderie together without really sacrificing too much. So it does look like we had one comment from the chat that we can't answer. This, it comes about the fall BOS and what we could do in the future. And could we do more entries and stuff like that? Absolutely. This is the first one of these, and it is not the last one by any stretch. So, as we understand what we want to get out of it, what the members want to get out of it, this is going to grow, and we'll see where this ends up. But I do see this as a growth opportunity, and it'll get beyond. I don't see a reason why it would not get beyond 1 entry. I think this is just the test balloon. So, be on the lookout for that. I mean, we're just going to develop that over time. So with that is the end of my slides. I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and now we just have us. So that was it for us here. Thanks everyone for attending the stream. I have a little bit of my Hoppy Amber that we tried yesterday at our board meeting. Still tasting great. Other than that, any other comments from the board of directors?
I would just say Terry M had a question. Do you see it, Andy?
Terry just came in. That one, we will have to talk to KOA about that, but we will make sure that answers in any emails we communicate to the reps. The questions about refunding and campsites and stuff, and we don't run the camping. We just coordinate and we work with KOA with that. So once we know what we're going to do in terms of this first come first serve call out or call in, we'll make sure that's in there too.
He also asked about a date for that, and we kind of thought maybe mid-December, but that is until we talk to KOA. That's up in the air.
Yeah, it's a little bit up in the air for that right now. So once we know that, we will let people know. But yeah. All right. Well, if that's it, guys, everyone have a good day. Have a good weekend. If you're brewing, hope you're brewing. And yeah, we'll be checking in with everyone as soon as we can. Thank you.